morning, Jackie. It's going to get hot around here, and I'm talking even the beaches will be in the 80s as we head through the second half of this week. So get ready for the heat. Today, we're actually still going to be hot, but a little bit hotter than yesterday, but not at that excessive heat level like we're going to be pretty much Wednesday through Friday. So I'll talk more about that coming up. Right now, though, we're in the 60s at the coast, mid-60s, inland, mountains, mid to upper 60s. If you're in San Marcos this morning heading back to school after your long holiday weekend, pretty good this morning. Feels comfortable. By the afternoon, we're going to be close to 90 and sunny. I'll show you the big warm-up in the forecast straight ahead. I wouldn't say the good thing, but the better thing about the heat that we have coming, because we have a lot of heat coming, it's not looking like Santa Ana conditions. We're just looking at a heat wave, so it's going to get hot around here. But yes, we will be under an increased threat for wildfires over the next several days because it's going to be so hot and dry. So keep that in mind as we head through, I would say, the end of the week and even across the weekend. Today's going to be a little hotter than yesterday. It'll be a sunny day too. Just, I would say, a few degrees hotter than what we had yesterday. We do have a heat wave in the forecast, mostly Wednesday through Friday this week. Excessive heat even into the start of the weekend, though. We'll still be seeing unseasonably hot temperatures. Temperatures will mostly be around 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. This morning, we're starting out with some clouds around. Most areas inland are mostly clear, but temperatures will be in about the mid-60s through the next few hours. By noon, inland around 88 degrees, and through the afternoon, we're getting into the low 90s here for those inland valleys. So again, a little bit hotter than yesterday. It will be sunny. Once the sun goes down, still very warm, around 80 degrees by 7 p.m. The coast today will be in about the low 80s, beaches mid to upper 70s. The coastline, though, hotter than yesterday, and that's going to continue for the mountains around 90, deserts near 110. There's the excessive heat we have across much of the southwestern part of the country, much of the state of California. Locally, this is for our inland locations. That's the excessive heat warning Wednesday through Friday. So here's how temperatures are going to shape up over the next few days starting tomorrow. Inland valleys around 100 degrees. Foothills could be near 108. For the mountains, around the mid-90s to low 100s there. And for the deserts, we could be as hot as 118 degrees. Even though the coast doesn't have any advisories or anything like that, it's still going to be hot. So if you're at the beaches, around 82 to 87. But then if you're inland a little bit, but not technically our inland valleys, you could still be in the upper 80s to maybe mid-90s. So it's going to be hot for the rest of this week. I'll talk more about it. We'll take a look at your 10-day coming up in just a bit. Let's look at the roads right now. It's 5:10. So we do have a couple issues out on the roadways. The first one, this is on the 94. This is actually a fatality. There is a lane blocked here, 94 eastbound before Sweetwater Springs Road. There is, again, a fatality. There's one lane blocked, so it's not completely shut down. I'll let you know when that lane reopens, though. And then towards Chula Vista on the 5 southbound, we have a grass fire here. So 2 lanes are blocked after East Street. So just keep that in mind. So some restricted flow, but we don't have a lot of traffic going on, so it looks pretty good. Here's a look out. Ange is driving around this morning on our live drive. So Ange has left North County. He's making his way south right now. I'm pretty sure he's on the 5 southbound. So Ange is going to continue driving around the county for us. So far right now on this Tuesday morning, it doesn't look too bad. But traffic, of course, is going to be getting busier today. Everybody heading back to work and school. We'll take another look around the county coming up in just a bit. It's going to be so hot over the next several days here. So you really don't want to be hiking in the middle of the day. It's just going to be too dangerous, I think. So I'll show you those temperatures coming up. We still have Clear the Shelters right now through September 10th, our big nationwide push to get as many animals adopted as possible. And I have this next very sweet dog. Look at this guy. That's Illy. I think it's a boy. I'd have to check. But either way, San Diego Humane Society, this is where this sweet dog is looking for a loving home. If you'd like to adopt Illy, you can just head there. Very wonderful dog. Hopefully a great addition to your family if you'd like to adopt Illy. San Diego Humane Society, but you can also visit NBC7.com. Search Clear the Shelters. It's also right up there on our trending bar for more participating locations because we have a lot of locations involved in this. Right now, though, if you're about to step out the door, it is comfortable. So it is nice enough this morning to go for a hike, something like that, outside exercising, whatever you want to do. Earlier is definitely going to be better. It's the coolest part of the day. 67 Chula Vista, 67 Oceanside, also El Cajon and Carlsbad, 65 in Ramona. Beaches today. We'll have some thin clouds around this morning. We'll see some gradual clearing. Temperatures at the beaches ranging from about the mid to upper 70s. So it's going to be a little bit warmer today. For those areas that kind of hold on to some of that cloud cover, it might just stay, a little bit kind of steady, comfortable. Wave heights around 1 to 3 feet. Inland valleys will be around 93. The coast low 80s. Mountains around 90. Deserts near 110. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow through Friday with our excessive heat warning. Inland valleys could be as hot as about 105, but if you're in the foothills, as hot as 108. Mountains as hot as 102, deserts near 118. The coast could be ranging from the upper 80s to mid 90s. And then if you're at the beaches over the next few days, we'll be in the 80s. So it's going to be a hot one here as we head through the rest of this week and into the week. Issue here, a traffic accident. This one is a fatality. This is on the 94 eastbound before Sweetwater Springs Boulevard. So there is a lane blocked with this, but I'll let you know when it clears up. Right now, we're still looking at that there. So also on the 5 southbound, we have 2 lanes blocked after East Street. There's restricted flow here, but no slowing just yet. This is because of a grass fire. Ange is actually on his way to that grass fire right now to see what it looks like. So he's on the 5 southbound around the Mission Bay area. So he's heading into the South Bay. Not too bad on the 5 southbound. A lot of cars starting to make their way out this morning. 5 northbound looks a little bit busier. So of course, the day after Labor Day weekend, traffic will be picking up quite a bit. East County drive times currently look normal on the 8th. The 52 and the 94 in both directions is still pretty early at 5:20. We'll take another look around the county, though, coming up in just a bit.
All right, Sheena.
Excited for their new sparkly things. The girls definitely are, I think, probably more so than some of the boys. So anyways, this morning, if you're heading out the door soon for your back to school, especially after this long holiday weekend, it's comfortable. We're in the mid-60s mostly for coast, inland valleys, mountains as well. For the afternoon, though, it's going to be hot again, a little bit hotter than yesterday. If you're in Poway this morning, dropping the kids off between 7 and 8 o'clock, mid-60s, maybe some thin clouds out there. But by the afternoon, pickup time will be around 90 degrees. It's going to be a lot hotter tomorrow through Friday. I'll show you some excessive heat warnings around the county coming up. Nope, we're not seeing
happening.
that. No way. We're going to get very hot as we head through the next few days. So if you thought summer weather could be coming to an end, no. Even in October, we can have some very hot weather. So not anytime soon. So today, it's going to be a little hotter than yesterday. It will be sunny. So I think you'll notice, a few degrees hotter can make a difference, especially if you're in the sun. We have a heat wave mostly Wednesday through Friday. That's when we're going to see the most dangerous heat across the county for those 3 days. However, it's still going to be hot as we start the weekend. Temperatures will be around 100 degrees inland over the next few days. Not really today. Today will be more so in the low 90s inland, but tomorrow is going to be quite a bit hotter. If you're in our coastal communities this morning, we do have some thin clouds around. Those will gradually clear. Some parts of our coastline at the beaches could still see some lingering clouds, but by noon around 80 degrees, and then through the afternoon, low 80s. So again, a little bit hotter than yesterday. And once the sun goes down, mid-70s, still very mild. For the inland valleys today will be around 93. For the mountains, low 90s. For the deserts, will be around 110. So it's going to be a hot day, but look what's happening as we head into the rest of the week. All this bright pink here, these are excessive heat warnings. The orange, that's heat advisories. The dark reds, those are excessive heat watches, which will eventually become warnings. So what we're looking at for our county is all these excessive heat warnings inland. From the inland valleys to the deserts, temperatures could be near 108 in the foothills, around 100 for the inland valleys, near 102 for the mountains, deserts near 118. And if you're along the coast, this is where we could see temperatures well into the 80s, maybe even mid 90s if you're away from the beaches, because we know it gets pretty hot if you're just a little bit away from the beaches. So make sure you're hydrating before and during any outdoor activities. Avoid those peak hours right in the middle of the day. Make sure the pets have fresh water and shade. And of course, never leave the kids or the pets in a hot car. I'll show you the temperatures as we head through the next 10 days coming up in just a bit. Let's see what the roads are looking like. It is 542. We're looking at the map right now with some accidents on it. We do have a new accident in North County, but I want to show you this one because this is actually a fatality. This happened very early this morning. There is a lane blocked at last check. This is on the 94 eastbound at Sweetwater Springs Boulevard. So Ange is actually heading to that one. So we'll let you know what it looks like. We also have an accident on the 15 northbound before Via Rancho Parkway. 2 lanes are blocked with this one, so that may cause a little bit of slowing. And also in the South Bay, Ange drove past this one already, this 5 southbound. It's showing that 2 lanes are blocked here, but he said that it's actually getting cleaned up right now because of a grass fire. So at least it's going to be improving before the big part of the morning. morning commute. So Ange now, he's on the 5 northbound where traffic is getting pretty heavy right there. So as he continues to drive around, we'll see what the rest of the county looks like. But so far, the visibility here looks pretty good. Traffic is picking up on this Tuesday after your long weekend. A lot of people heading back to work and school. We'll take a look at that 10-day forecast coming up. Adoption fees at San Diego Humane Society are going to be waived this Saturday for whatever pet you decide to adopt. Right now, the Humane Society, San Diego Humane Society, that is cutting the adoption fees in half. We have a lot of locations that are going to be a lot of different animal shelters locally that are participating in this big adoption initiative, Clear the Shelters, now through September 10th. So check in with, any of the local shelters and see what they're offering. But we're trying to get as many animals into loving homes as we can. This next dog is at San Diego Humane Society. That's JJ. This very sweet guy. He's very friendly and playful. He's looking for a loving home. If you'd like to adopt him, you can head there. Also head to our website, NBC7.com, search Clear the Shelters for other participating locations. If you're going to be at the beaches today, we're starting out with some thin clouds. It's comfortable for now. It's going to be warmer later. Don't forget the sunblock if you are heading out to the beach. 77 degrees by noon. For the coastal communities, will be a little bit hotter, low 80s. So 82 downtown, 81 for a high in Chula Vista today. If you're in our inland valleys, you're going to be in the low 90s, a little bit hotter this afternoon. For the mountains, we'll be in the low 90s, foothills mid 90s, deserts near 110. But look what's going to happen tomorrow through Friday. It's going to be even hotter. We have an excessive heat warning for the inland valleys, foothills, mountains, deserts. Inland valleys could be as hot as 105 over the next few days. Foothills as hot as 108. Mountains near 102, deserts near 118. And then look at the coast. Coastal temperatures will be unseasonably hot by about 10 to 15 degrees, well into the 80s, maybe even mid to low 90s. If you're warning, this is a fatality. This is on the 94 eastbound before Sweetwater Springs Road. Still showing up on the map here. So as of last check, a lane is blocked there. We'll let you know when it clears. Then we have this. This one just happened. Multi-vehicle crash. We could have multiple lanes blocked. This is on the 805 northbound before Home Avenue. So this one just popped up. We already have a lot of slowing behind it. If you have to be in that area, just be aware of that. And then on the 15 northbound near Escondido, there's a crash before Villa Rancho Parkway. 2 lanes are blocked with that. There's some slowing. So Ange is now heading to the crash I just showed you on the 805 northbound before Home Avenue. So that multi-vehicle crash, Ange is heading there right now. So he's going to see how that one looks. But like I showed you on the map, traffic is actually getting really backed up there. So we'll check back in with Ange as he's making his way there. Visibility, as far as that's concerned on this Tuesday morning, looks pretty good across most of the county. But we'll have another check on this coming up.
No, sounds like the 5 going here.
No idea what's going on. But I mean, I know that the kids are back to school today. That's all I know. But yes, as we head out to the door this morning after your long Labor Day weekend, it's not too bad. If you're in Chula Vista this morning, dropping the kids off between 7 and 8 o'clock, we'll be around 67 degrees, pretty comfortable. By pickup time, it's going to be a little bit hotter, closer to 80 and sunny. And we have a lot more heat on the way later this week. Look at all these excessive heat warnings across the Southwest, including our county. Wednesday through Friday, we're looking at dangerous heat in the forecast. So it's going to be very hot as we approach the weekend. I'll show you the numbers coming up. Let's look at the roads. It is just about 6:01. We have a couple accidents out there, and one which is going to be causing kind of an issue this morning. This is on the 805 before Home Avenue. There was a multi-vehicle crash that happened, so I think some lanes are still blocked here. We have a lot of slowing. Ange is actually on his way there right now, so we'll take a look at that coming up in just a bit. But because it's going to be so hot and dry, the fire threat is going to be elevated for the rest of the week and really as we head into the weekend too. But yes, the good news is we do not have strong winds accompanying this heat, so that's always at least nice to say. For today, though, it's going to be a little bit hotter than yesterday. It's going to be sunny, so it's going to feel a lot like summer, even though, Labor Day weekend normally marks the unofficial end to summer, but not so much because if you think about it, we still have hot weather in October, most of the time. Heat wave Wednesday through Friday, at least excessive heat across much of the county. I think this is going to extend into the start of the weekend. Temperatures will be around 10 to 15 degrees above normal, may even be a little bit hotter than that. So as we head through the next few days, expect the heat to really turn up for those inland locations too. For today, though, we do have temperatures in the 60s to start out with for the inland valleys. Here's your hour forecast for that. By noon inland around 87. It is going to be a little bit hotter today, so we'll be in the low 90s inland this afternoon and sunny. And once the sun goes down, still pretty warm around 80 degrees by 7 p.m. Coastal communities will be in the low 80s this afternoon. Mountains around the low 90s. Deserts near 110. And now tomorrow, look at all these excessive heat warnings across the southwest. Tomorrow we're going to be dealing with even more heat. So that's for the inland valleys, foothills, mountains, deserts. Wednesday through Friday, excessive heat warning. Temperatures for the inland valleys ranging from 100 to maybe 108 degrees. That would be closer to the foothills, 108. Mountains, 95 to 102. Deserts, 112 to 118. The coast, going to be hot in the 80s. And some areas for our coastal communities, if you're not right there on the sand at the beach, you could be pushing the mid to low 90s. So some heat safety tips for you. Make sure you hydrate before and during any outdoor activities. Avoid those peak hours in the middle of the day and early afternoon when it's the hottest. Make sure the pets have fresh water and shade, and of course never leave the kids or the pets in a hot car. We'll take a look as we head through the rest of the week and towards the weekend with your 10-day forecast coming up. Let's look at the roads at 610. So we have a big accident here in the South Bay. This is on the 805 northbound. This is going to cost you some time this morning. This is the 805 northbound before Home Avenue, a multi-vehicle crash. We do have lanes blocked here, so cars are getting by, so don't think that it's completely stopped. You're just going to have to kind of sit in that traffic. And just out there this morning, he just passed this, but he was sitting in a lot of traffic. He's on the 805 northbound. He just passed Home Avenue. Now, we were watching him for a while, so he was sitting in that traffic. A lot of brake lights, a lot of cars had to slow down from it. Either way, if you do have to take the 805 northbound this morning, again, give yourself a little extra time. Also, near Escondido, we have a couple lanes blocked here with an accident on the 15 northbound before Via Rancho Parkway. That one's been there for a little while, a little slowing behind that one. East County drive time so far looking pretty good this morning. It's 6:11 if you're about to head out the door soon. Just know that traffic's really starting to pick up this Tuesday after Labor Day weekend. We'll take another look around the county coming up.
All right.
Days probably way too hot for you too to be going on a run, and you definitely don't want to go on a hike in the afternoon. We'll talk about the heat in just a minute. I want to show you still our Clear the Shelters Pet for Adoption now through September 10th. Our big nationwide push to get many animals into those loving homes as we can. Look at this girl. This is Nikita. Oh, Nikita is a senior pet at San Diego Humane Society. But she is very sweet. She's lovable. She's a really good companion. So if you'd like to adopt Nikita, yeah, she's small too, obviously. She's at San Diego Humane Society. This Saturday, all the adoption fees there are going to be completely waived. Right now, they're cutting them in half. NBC7.com, search Clear the Shelters for more participating locations because we have a lot locally participating in this big event. So for now, if you're about to head out the door, we're in the mid-60s at the coast, mid-60s for those inland valleys, 60s in the mountains. Comfortable start to the day. Any thin clouds at the coast will try and gradually clear. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s at the beaches. And for the afternoon, it's going to be just a little bit warmer. Wave heights around 1 to 3 feet today. For the coastal communities, not on the sand, they're not at the beach, a low 80s. For the inland valleys, around 93. So it is going to be a little bit hotter, and we keep heating up for the rest of the week. Mountains around 90, deserts near 110. So look at this, what we have coming. Wednesday through Friday, we're under an excessive heat warning for the inland valleys all the way to the deserts. The coast, as of now, doesn't have any advisories. Doesn't matter, though. Still going to be very hot. For the inland valleys, we could be as hot as about 105. For the foothills, as hot as about 108. Mountains, 102. Deserts as hot as 118. So needless to say, this is dangerous heat. This is going to last for a few days, and it's still going to be hot this weekend. The coast will be in the upper 80s to maybe mid 90s. Not on the beach mid 90s, but coastal communities away from the sand. Beaches, though, about the mid to low 80s it's looking like as we head into the next several days. Any couple accidents out there. We have one North County. We had one in the South Bay. It's still there. The slowing from it. So this was a multi-vehicle crash, 805 northbound before Home Avenue. And Ange did drive past this. He said all the vehicles are actually on the side. There are no lanes blocked here, but there is a lot of slowing with that. So just keep that in mind. You are still going to get by, though. 15 northbound near Escondido before Via Rancho Parkway. A couple lanes shown blocked there because of that accident. And here's Ange driving around now on the 15 northbound where traffic is moving very smoothly. Pretty light on the 15 north. A little bit heavier on the 15 south. Skies are looking clear. Visibility looks great. So Ange is making his way up into North County, and then we'll check back in with him when he's about to head on the 78 westbound. So South Bay drive times slow on the 805, of course, because of that, slowing with those accidents I showed you. 25 minutes from the border to the 8 Mission Valley, about 20 minutes on the 5 northbound border to the 8. Coronado Bridge looks fine. And then North County, your drive times here all look good on the 5, 15, and 78. We'll take another look around coming up. A short but hot week. The heat's going to make it feel like it's a long week, I think. So, yeah, we have a lot going on over the next few days, temperature-wise, because we're going to see some big changes here. This morning looks pretty good for those heading back to work and school today after your nice Labor Day weekend, hopefully. We have temperatures in the 60s right now, mid-60s for the coast and inland valleys. If you're in Carlsbad, we're in the 60s there. And by pickup time later today, it's going to be a little bit hotter around the upper 70s and sunny if you're in Carlsbad, but we have a lot more heat on the way. Excessive heat warnings for much of the southwestern part of the country, including our county. It's going to be very hot around here. I'll show you those numbers coming up. Let's look at the roads real quick. It's 6:30 right now. And just driving around. He's on the 15 northbound with really good visibility here. Parts of the county, though, near the coast may be seeing a little bit of light fog. But for now, North County is not looking too bad on the 15. Traffic not bad, but really starting to pick up across much of the county. So there's the visibility on the traffic maps. Right near about Carlsbad up towards Oceanside, we have a little slowing in the South Bay, an accident out there, which I'll show you coming up in just a bit, because it's going to be so hot, especially for those areas inland as we head through the next several days. So we have a lot of heat on the way. So yeah, summer's not over just yet. So for today, a little bit hotter. It will be sunny. It's really just pretty clear outside right now. So sunshine to start off your day currently. We do have a heat wave in the forecast. Dangerous heat Wednesday through Friday. Those are going to be the hottest days, but it's still going to be hot as we head into the weekend. Temperatures through this span of time going to be around 100 degrees inland. So we will be certainly talking about that heat for the rest of the week. Coastal temperatures this morning, if you're making your way out the door soon, mostly the mid to upper 60s. Some thin clouds could be out there along the coast by noon, though, mostly sunny around the low 80s and staying in the low 80s near the coast through the afternoon. Sunny skies. So again, it's going to be a little bit hotter today. By the time the sun goes down, we'll be in about the mid 70s by 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So still pretty mild. This afternoon for areas a little bit farther inland away from the beaches, maybe about the mid to low 80s downtown, 88 degrees Miramar, beaches mid to upper 70s. Then if you're in Escondido or Poway, 92, 82 Eastlake, La Mesa 88 degrees, El Cajon around 93 today, foothills mid 90s, mountains low 90s today, deserts near 110. Tomorrow's going to be hotter. Excessive heat warnings for much of the southwest, including our county, inland valleys, all the way to the desert. So Wednesday through Friday, expect high temperatures to be around 100 degrees inland. Some areas for the inland locations near 108, that'd be closer to the foothills. Mountains 95 to about 102. Deserts could be as hot as 118. Now the coast also going to be hot. We could be seeing temperatures, if you're not at the beaches, but in our coastal communities, temperatures maybe in the upper 80s to mid 90s as you head a little bit farther inland, not yet to the inland valleys though. And then the beaches will be in about the mid to low 80s. So make sure you stay hydrated, stay cool. You want to avoid those peak hours outside in the middle of the day when it's the hottest. Early afternoon's always the hottest. Make sure the pets have fresh water and shade, and of course never leave the kids or pets in a hot car. Here's what those inland temperatures look like as we head into the next 4 days. Upper 90s tomorrow, around 101 Thursday, 102 Friday, still in the upper 90s on Saturday. So it's still going to be very hot as we head into the weekend. We'll look at everybody's 10-day forecast and all the heat around the county coming up. Let's look at the roads real quick at 640. Ange is out there and he is stuck in a lot of traffic. So Ange is on the 15 northbound where it looks like a parking lot. So he's approaching Escondido. That's where we have the one accident, which I think is cleared now, but it was causing a lot of slowing earlier, and that's what Ange is kind of stuck in currently, the residual slowing. So I want to show you that on the maps here. This is on the 15 northbound, right near Escondido, so right before Villa Rancho Parkway. So that was a crash earlier. I believe it's been cleared, but all that traffic is still kind of the slowing that we have in place. So it kind of just shows you how many cars are on the road right now. So things are getting pretty busy out there. On the 52 East County, 52 westbound, Santee to the 5, that's currently going to take you about 20 minutes, but the 8 westbound looks good, so does the 94. South Bay drive times are getting slower on this Tuesday morning after your long weekend. 805 northbound border to the 8, 32 minutes. 5 northbound border to the 8, almost 30 minutes there. And the Coronado Bridge looks fine just to get over the bridge, couple minutes. We'll take another look around, and your 10-day forecast is coming up. Sunshine starting us out this morning. We also saw Clear the Shelters going on now through September 10th, our big nationwide push to get all the animals adopted as we can. This is Illy, by the way. This very sweet dog is looking for a loving home at San Diego Humane Society. They're very overcrowded right now. They're reducing their adoption fees by half, but this Saturday they're going to waive all the adoption fees. Head to our website, NBC7.com. Search Clear the Shelters for more participating locations because we do have a lot of other shelters that are participating in this whole Clear the Shelters event. Currently, if you're about to step out the door, we're in the mid-60s from the coast to the inland valleys to the mountains. It's going to be a little bit hotter today, around 93 inland, 82 along the coast, mountains around the low 90s, deserts near 110. But tomorrow's going to be hotter. We have excessive heat warnings for all areas inland tomorrow through Friday. Temperatures around 100 degrees inland, could be near 108 in the foothills, near 118 in the deserts. Even the coast is going to be hot, well into the 80s to near 90. We could have some areas at least near the coast northbound. He actually was stuck in traffic for quite a long time approaching Escondido. He's now making his way north of Escondido, so traffic is looking pretty clear here on the 15 north. Good visibility too, and eventually he's going to make his way towards the coast again. But this is the accident he was stuck behind. This one is getting cleared up at the moment. There is a car on its side though, over to the left-hand side, 15 northbound before Villa Rancho Parkway. You're going to have a pretty big backup here if you're heading on the 15 northbound there. East County drive times are around 20 minutes on the 52 westbound Santee to the 5, 15 minutes on the 8 west. Weather in the forecast for the rest of this week and into the weekend and into early next week. We have a lot of heat heading our way. Here is a live look outside across the bay into Coronado. There's Point Loma off in the distance. A beautiful afternoon, lots of sunshine along the coast. We had some cloud cover this morning for mostly our North County beaches, but we're seeing that clearing take place. A lot of sun with hotter temperatures than yesterday by just a little bit. So by the afternoon, you'll notice it'll be a little bit hotter by a few degrees. Right now, we're in the mid 70s to low 70s at the beaches, upper 70s downtown, 81 degrees Miramar. For most of our inland valleys, we're in about the mid to upper 80s, and the mountains are around 90 degrees. Ramona's at 92. If you're in El Cajon, it's 88 degrees right now and sunny. It's going to be hot this afternoon, around 90 degrees. Most of our inland valleys will be right in the low 90s for several hours, and then by 6 p.m., still pretty hot around the mid 80s. So we have more heat heading our way. We're actually going to get even hotter. We have an excessive heat warning tomorrow through Friday for all areas inland. We're going to be around 100 degrees. So unseasonably hot weather, dangerous heat, still very hot this weekend. We finally, though, will get a break as we head into next week, so we have to wait a while. So I'll talk more about the heat coming up. Now through September 10th, though, we are still talking about Clear the Shelters, our big nationwide pet adoption event. And our next dog for adoption is JJ, this really handsome dog, cutie pie, is at San Diego Humane Society. This Saturday, San Diego Humane Society is waiving all adoption fees. Right now, they're cutting them in half. So if you'd like to adopt JJ, that's where he is. Also, head to our website, NBC7.com. Search Clear the Shelters right there at the top on our trending bar. You'll find that information as well for more participating locations. I'll have another adoptable coming up, and we'll talk about those hot temperatures, too, straight ahead. All right. We're talking about dangerous heat, too, for much of the county. So I'll show you that in just a minute. One thing we're also talking about, Clear the Shelter is still going on through September 10th, our big push to get as many animals adopted as possible. And this is our next dog, this beautiful Rottweiler, Illy, at San Diego Humane Society. If you'd like to adopt Illy, very sweet dog here, very loving and playful, just head to San Diego Humane Society. They're going to be waiving all the adoption fees this Saturday. Also, our website, NBC7.com, search Clear the Shelters. That's where you can find more participating shelter locations because we do have a lot right now. At the beaches for the rest of the day, it's going to be very warm. Temperatures in the mid 70s mostly, maybe some upper 70s. Don't forget the sunblock. You get a sunburn in 25 minutes or less right now. Coastal communities away from the beach, low 80s. Inland valleys about the low 90s. For the mountains, low 90s. Deserts near 110 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be hotter. We have an excessive heat warning tomorrow through Friday for the inland valleys, foothills, mountains, deserts. Temperatures will be around 100 degrees. Inland valleys could range from the upper 90s to near 105. Foothills could be as hot as 108. Mountains could be as hot as 102, deserts up to about 118 possibly. And then for the coast, we're also going to be very hot there, upper 80s to maybe mid 90s for some coastal communities. But if you're at the beach, we're going to be in the mid to low 80s, so very warm at the beaches too. Some heat safety tips for you to remember, not just for the rest of this week, but even over the weekend. Make sure you hydrate before and during any outdoor activities, but really avoid the middle of the day and early afternoon when it's the hottest. You really want to make sure you stay cool, stay hydrated, make sure the pets have fresh water and shade. Never leave the kids or the pets in a hot car. There's your